In today's class, what we need to do, let me share my screen. Okay. Okay. So of this we had not completed the zones and regions in GCP. And in today's class we should have go to networking basics, VPC creation, subnets and adding VMs to the VPC. Okay. Let us go through understanding zones and regions. Come here. So let us go to this VM instances. So far we are creating VM instances easily. So what we are doing, we are creating a we are creating a machine, but we are not worried about these regions. Let us say GCP is having its regions in America, Europe, Asia Pacific and others. Okay, so these are the 3 or 4 major areas in which GCP is having its regions. Let us come here. So don't think I am teaching social sciences, but this is required, so that's why I am going to this. Yeah. So when you look at GCP, GCP is having its regions in North America, South America, in Americas. So when you look at this, in America, it is having North America, South America, US Central, US East, US West, US South, and these are the regions in which you will be seeing the regions. Okay, in North America, it is having Northeast 1, Northeast 2. In South America, it is having Southeast 1 and Southeast 2. And South America, West 1, West 1. Okay, fine. Come here. So, in this, it is having its own regions in East 1 and East 2. East 1 and East 2. Apart from that, it is having its regions in South America also, and it is having many regions in United States, US, many regions in United. So let us say we are living in India. How many regions do India have? How many regions do India have? So if we see at India, India is having North India, South India and Eastern India. So you can see this portion, we call it as East. and there is nothing like west. There is nothing like west, but in east we have few territories. In east we have few territories. So in east we have few territories. So that is why here we can see this is the eastern part of India. Eastern part of India. Now, if we see this map, if you want to maintain a server, let us say you want to maintain a server. So the idea is we want to maintain a server. Let us say your server name, your job is onlineshopping.com. You want to maintain this website. So you are somewhere in India, southern part of India. You are in southern part of India. On a server, you are providing this particular organization. We are providing this particular organization, and this particular organization is responsible for selling the goods online. And this online shopping will get 100K requests per minute. It is called as HPS, hits per second. 100K requests per minute, or even I can say a second. In 1 second, how many hits this website is getting is 100K. 100K means 1 lakh requests per second it is getting. It is called as hits per second. That means if you say if you look at Google, how many hits do Google get a day? How many hits does Google get a day? So let us go into the statistics. You will understand this. In 2004, so here you can see this. Google now processes 40,000 search queries every second on an average. Here you can see. 1 second it is getting 40,000 requests. 1 second it is getting 40,000 requests across the globe. So you designed a web server. Let us say you are using either an IIS or a HTTPD server, because we have studied this, IIS or a HTTPD server. You are using one of these servers. The capacity of the server can serve maximum of 1000 hits per second. A server can serve only 1000 hits per second. So, but what is the actual traffic to your network? It is 100K, 1 lakh hits per second. But it can serve only 1000. That means your server capacity is almost 100 times less. 100 times less. Your server capacity is almost 100 times less than the requirement. Are you getting my point? You can stop me. It is bit theory. Okay. So that means you are not capable of serving the system, serving the requests. So what you will do? So you will deploy 100 machines. You will deploy 100 machines. So what happens now? 1000 into 100, 1000 into 100. So will serve your request. Your request will be solved. So what you will do? Will you keep these 100 machines in Tirupati? So you will be deploying 100 machines, 100 servers. 100 servers you are deploying to serve this need. 100 servers you are deploying. Will it be good to deploy all the servers in one location? Definitely no. You need not to deploy 100 machines in one location. What you need to do now? What you need to do now? So here, what is the need is, we will deploy these machines across the globe. Across the globe. Okay. So what we will do? We will divide our request across the globe into regions. I will say China is one region, Russia is another region, Africa is another region, Australia is another region. In each region, so I have took 100 regions, 5 regions. So it is decided that I will be sending 20 missions to each region. 25s are 100. Okay. So now, where to deploy these 20 missions? Where to deploy these 20 missions? We will be deploying these 20 missions. A region is again divided into zones. We will divide each region into zone. So if India is a region, India is divided into zones. India East, India West, India South, India North, or Central India. So like that I will divide India into zones. If India is a region, I will divide India into zones. Let me call it as India Zone 1, India Zone 2, India Zone 3, India Zone 4, India Zone 5. So like that I will divide the geographical region into 5 different zones. 5 different zones, and I will put them in different locations. So each mission in one zone. We will put each mission in one zone. So that is what we need to understand. So what is the advantage of putting the machines in these regions? So now what happens? You are somewhere in India, let us say you are in Madhya Pradesh, Bhopal. You are in Madhya Pradesh, Bhopal. So whenever there is a request from Madhya Pradesh, Bhopal, the request need not to come to south part of India. The request will be served from India central region. India central region. The same website, from that region it will respond. Assume you have deployed a mission in Kashmir. Due to some reason, the mission in Kashmir is down. Need not to worry. Your central mission or east mission, which is having less load, can share this load, or both the missions can share this load. What is the advantage of sharing this load? Your website will be available all the time. Your website will be available all the time, irrespective of any downtimes for your website. Your websites will have less downtime if we maintain the missions in different regions. Using the same concept, what GCP did. So GCP divided the entire globe into these regions. America is one region, Europe is one region, Middle East is one region, Asia Pacific is one region, others is another region. Let us say Africa, we may be getting other zones very soon. So we may be getting other zones very soon. So in Asia Pacific, what are the regions we have? We have Taiwan, Asia East 1. We have Hong Kong, so Asia East 2. So this is in China. So we have east one Tokyo, that is Japan, Seoul, and then we have one in Mumbai, Delhi. So in India we have two regions, one in Mumbai, the other one is Delhi. And in southeast, Singapore, Indonesia, Jakarta, Australia, Sydney and Melbourne. Australia, Sydney and Melbourne. So like that, Asia and Australia is divided such that the machines will be available in all these regions. And if you deploy, if you select this region, a machine will be allocated in this region. If you select Asia South 1 Mumbai, a machine will be allocated in Mumbai in this region. So in Mumbai, a machine will be kept available for you. Okay, in Mumbai, a machine will be kept available. Okay, so in Mumbai, what are the regions you are having? In Asia South 1, what are the regions you are having? You are having region A, region B, region C. So Southeast Asia 1, Asia South 1, Asia South B, Asia South 1, C. So like that we have zones. That means this availability in Mumbai is divided into 1, 2, 3, let us say, such that you will be selecting, if you select a zone which is nearest to you, a machine will be allocated in this particular region and in this particular zone. So how Google is providing this to us? Google has deployed its server farms across the globe in these regions and zones. How many regions and zones do in this Google is having? So let us say, ask Google, how many regions, how many zones do GCP support? How many zones? Does GCP support? So here you can see regions and zones. So here we can see the Google documentation. So here you can see zones, and this is how the list, somewhere we will be getting the list. Yeah, this is the list. So we will be having these many number of zones and location, which city. So Africa South 1A, Zone A is Johannesburg, South Africa. South 1B is Johannesburg, South Africa. Again, see, so you can see this is what you will be, in which location the mission is deployed. Similarly, if you look for Asia South 1, Mumbai. Okay, so in Mumbai, region 1, region 2, region 3. Delhi also similarly. We have these many regions. So like this, Google is deploying their forms in these regions, which means that if a server is very near to the user, then it will be having faster access compared to having a access which is very slow. For having some, so for example, if someone want to access your online shopping from China, so it will be delayed, because you don't know, we don't know. But here if you see Google, we are getting Google. In how many regions do Google deployed? Google is deployed across multiple regions across the globe. So how many servers do Google maintain for this google.com? So I can say nearly some thousands of servers are being maintained for this google.com across the globe. Okay, that is why it is capable of serving these many number of requests. Okay, so that is what is the hundreds of servers across the globe, not thousands, hundreds of servers across the globe. Okay. So now I hope you had understood what is meant by a region and what is meant by a zone. Okay. So now if you want to deploy a machine, if you want to deploy a machine in a particular region, yes, you can select, that will become your permanent region in which the machine will sit. In that particular region, the machine will be available. So any doubts? Is that clear? Is this regions and zones topic clear? Any doubts? Yes, Yeshu. Chapandi. Is that all good? Ah, okay, fine. So we had understood what is meant by a region and what is meant by a zone. Region is bigger and zone is smaller. Zones will be there in regions. A region will have zones. Region will have zones. Okay. Now, the next one, networking basics. Say you have some 5 or 6 machines for your organization. Let us say you have 100 machines. What is there? Nothing wrong in imagination. We have hundreds of machines in your organization, and all of them are connected via internet, via network, not internet. All of them are connected via network. Is that okay? All of them are connected, well and good. Because all of them are connected, you can start communicating among your organization without using internet. Yes or no? Yes. The two important terms that you need to learn here is intranet, internet. Intranet and internet. What is intranet? A network that is within an organization. A network within an organization. Internet. What is internet? Internet is across the globe. Network across the globe. Across the globe. So it can be anywhere. It can be anywhere. It is nothing but network across, I can say, international network is internet. International network is internet. So an intranet is something within an organization. So this is across the globe, across various continents and countries, you will be having internet. Okay. So within an intranet for an organization, let us say an organization like a college which is having some 500 systems. Yes, a simple college can have 500 systems. So of these 500 systems, we can create a network. We can create a network such that a portion of what I can say, that particular location, let us say a lab in an organization, a lab in your college. So a lab in your college is connected via network. Need not be internet. It need not be internet. However, you can connect to your lab server from your machine. If your lab is configured like that, then you can connect to your lab server from your machine. You can store your data into the machine. Internet is not required. So this we call it as intranet. This we call it as intranet. Okay. So now we have n machines or some 5 or 6 machines, let us say, and these 5 or 6 machines are connected to a particular network or connected to a particular network. Yes. So let us say you have 5 machines. Let us create some 2 or 3 machines now, and we will see how to connect it to the network. So for the machines to be ready, the first thing is you should have network. Network should be available for you to connect to the machines. How to create that network? So that network you can create it from VPC networks. So this is our second topic. I will bring it up. So this is our second topic in GCP. I am bringing it up. So in VPC networks, we will be having VPC network, we will be having VPC networks. So here, okay, first we need to create a network. Let me say it as programming lab network. Programming lab network. Okay. So now you can add description like 100 machines. 100 machines are there, or you can say for programming lab, for programming lab. So you can add your description on your own. So you can write your description as you like. So leave about this maximum transmission unit. Transmission unit is something that you will be having, that you will be transmitting at one time. So it is nothing but a packet. You can remember the size of the packet. Okay. So creation of subnetwork, let it be a custom. Now in this particular programming lab, you have 2 different labs. One is Java programming, the other one is C programming. So what will you do now? I will create a subnet Java. In which region? So I will be creating this subnet in, let me go to US Central, and IP addresses I am going to give in this range 10.0.0/24. So remember this IP address, IPv4 address format will have this. Need not to worry about these IP address in detail. So if required, we will be going to these IP addresses in detail. Okay. So in this range, we are going to give IP address range for this Java programming lab. Okay. So private Google Office, everything this is done. This is done. Okay. So now I want to add another subnet. Let us say, what is that subnet? So this we have created in US Central one. Similarly, we will create in US East. Let it be C programming lab. For C programming, we will be creating one more subnet. So for C lab, I can simply say it as for C lab. The other one is for Java lab. Description is not mandatory. Region is mandatory. So in which region? Let us go to East, Southeast, US East one, US Central one, US East one. Let the IP address range be 192.168.0.0/24. I can teach this particular IP addresses, but it will confuse you at the moment. Remember that we need to provide an IP range as an example like this. Okay. If you gain some knowledge on this, then after in some other class I will definitely teach you this. What is this IP address and other things. Now it is not required for you. Okay, so now what we are going to do here is we have created a subnet. We are creating a subnet. In that subnet, we have created a network. In that network we have created two subnets. So for 100 missions, let us say 50 for Java and 50 for C programming. Okay, so let us say create. Now here you can see we have created our own network. And this network, అంతే కదండి, మీరు ఒక ల్యాబ్ ఎస్టాబ్లిష్ చేయాలంటే కంప్యూటర్లు తెచ్చి పెడితే సరిపోదు. ఫస్ట్ నెట్వర్క్ లాగాలి అక్కడ. అంత నెట్వర్క్ అంతా రెడీ అయిన తర్వాత ఎలక్ట్రిసిటీ ఆల్ అదర్ థింగ్స్. ఇక్కడ మన క్లౌడ్ కాబట్టి ఎలక్ట్రిసిటీ గురించి మనం పెద్దగా పట్టించుకోం, బట్ నెట్వర్క్ అయితే ఇంపార్టెంట్ కదా. ఒక ల్యాబ్ ఎస్టాబ్లిష్ చేయాలంటే నెట్వర్క్ అనేది చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. సో ఫస్ట్ నెట్వర్క్ క్రియేట్ చేయాలి. ఓకే, సో సక్సెస్ఫుల్లీ క్రియేటెడ్ with 2 subnets. So go inside this prog lab and see the subnets. So here you can see it is having 2 subnets, one with IP range this, the other one with IP range this. Okay, so now what here we need to do here is, now we want to create the firewall rules. Why this firewall is required? Who should access this particular network? Not everybody. You have to set some firewall rule such that only few people can access this particular network. The authorized people can access this particular network. So for that we need to create a firewall. So the firewall determines who can access this network. Create a firewall. Let us say prog lab firewall. So here you can see default. Which lab? Prog lab. And traffic direction. Ingress means incoming, egress means outgoing traffic. Ingress means incoming traffic. Allow incoming traffic. Who can access? Specified targets, and the target who can access? All instances can access. Now we are giving all instances can access the network. So source IP address. So everybody can access this. That is why I am giving 0.0.0. Anyone can access this. So allow all protocols for now. But when you look at an organization, if you want to specify these things, then you can minimize who can access this and who cannot access this. All these things you can take care. At the moment we are allowing the incoming traffic for all the instances in the network. Created the firewall. Incoming firewall. This rule is for incoming. So now you can see prog lab firewall. Prog lab firewall. So ingress. Similarly, we want to create another firewall rule for outgoing. So let it be prog lab firewall. So this is for outgoing traffic. Network prog lab. Select our network. Our network is prog lab. Default is GCP's network. Prog lab is our network. Egress, allow all instances in the network. Destination IP address, we are allowing all the systems now. That is why we are giving 00. Allow, create. ఓకేనా అండి. ఇక్కడ ఈ ఫైర్ వాల్ క్రియేషన్ ప్రాసెస్ తెలుసుకోండి మీరు. ఎందుకు ఇలానే ఎలా క్రియేట్ చేయాలని తెలుసుకోవడం మీకు ఇంపార్టెంట్. సో ఇక్కడ ఎడిట్కి వెళ్ళారంటే మనం చూసామంటే దిస్ వన్ what have we have did. So all instances in the network IPv4 ranges. So this one allow all protocols. So ikkada meer telusukovalsindi ఏంటంటే there are 3 different options: specified target tags, specified service account. సో ఇవి మీకు ఇంకా తెలియదు కాబట్టి నేను వీటి గురించి చెప్పలేదు, అందరూ యాక్సెస్ చేయొచ్చు అని చెప్తున్నాను ప్రస్తుతానికి. సో అవి మీకు అర్థమైనప్పుడు, కానీ ఈ ప్రాసెస్ అనేది ఇప్పుడే తెలుసుకుంటున్నాం మనం. సో మీకు ఆ ప్రాసెస్ తెలిసినప్పుడు ఎలా ఎవరికి అసైన్ చేయాలి. సో అసైన్ ఫర్ దిస్ పర్టికులర్ పర్సన్ హూ ఈజ్ హ్యావింగ్. సో ఇప్పుడు ట్యాగ్ అంటే ఏం లేదండి. ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఒక ఎగ్జిబిషన్, ఒక చిన్నప్పుడు ఎప్పుడైనా మీరు సర్కస్కి వెళ్ళారనుకోండి. సర్కస్లో ఏం చేస్తారు? 500 రూపీస్ టికెట్టు, 200 రూపీస్ టికెట్టు, 100 రూపీస్ టికెట్స్ ఇలా ఉంటాయి. ప్రతి ఒక్కరికి ట్యాగ్ వేస్తారు. వైట్ ట్యాగ్, బ్లూ ట్యాగ్, గ్రీన్ ట్యాగ్ వేశారనుకుందాం. వైట్ ట్యాగ్ ఈజ్ 100 రూపీస్ టికెట్. ఎక్కడైనా వాళ్ళు 100 రూపీస్ టికెట్ అని ఐడెంటిఫై చేయాలి అంటే వైట్ ట్యాగ్ చూస్తే అర్థమైపోతుంది. సో వైట్ ట్యాగ్ పీపుల్ విల్ బీ సెట్టింగ్ ఇన్ సమ్ లొకేషన్. బ్లూ ట్యాగ్ పీపుల్ విల్ బీ హ్యావింగ్ ఫ్యూ అదర్ సర్వీసెస్. రెడ్ ట్యాగ్, గ్రీన్ ట్యాగ్ పీపుల్ విల్ బీ హ్యావింగ్ సమ్ అదర్ సర్వీసెస్ లైక్ దట్. సో ఈ విధంగా మనం ఐడెంటిఫై చేయొచ్చు అనమాట. ట్యాగ్ ద్వారా ఏ సిస్టమ్ని ఎలా ఐడెంటిఫై చేస్తాం దాన్ని ఇక్కడ మనం ఏమంటామంటే సర్వీస్ ట్యాగ్ అంటాం. అలా టార్గెట్ ట్యాగ్స్. ఓకే. సో అలా స్పెసిఫైడ్ సర్వీస్ అకౌంట్స్ కూడా ఉంటాయి. ఇప్పుడు మనం దాని గురించి అంతగా చదవడం లేదు. ఎందుకంటే వీఆర్ ఫోకసింగ్ ఆన్ ఫైర్ వాల్ క్రియేషన్. వీఆర్ ఫోకసింగ్ ఆన్ ఫైర్ వాల్ క్రియేషన్, ఫైర్ వాల్ రూల్స్. వీఆర్ నాట్ వరీడ్ అబౌట్ అదర్ థింగ్స్. సో వీ హ్యావ్ క్రియేటెడ్ 2 firewall rules. One is for ingress, other one is for egress. So here you can see for this particular network these firewall rules will apply, and these rules are ingress and egress. Okay. సో ఇలా చూసామంటే 2 ఫైర్వాల్స్ మనకు క్రియేట్ అయినాయి. ఈ ఫైర్వాల్ ఐపీ రేంజెస్, ఈ ఫైర్వాల్ ఎవరెవరిని అలో చేస్తున్నాం, ఈ డీటెయిల్స్ అయితే చూడొచ్చు ఇక్కడ మనం. ఓకే. దిస్ ఈజ్ వాట్ వీ విల్ బీ హ్యావింగ్ విత్ రెస్పెక్ట్ టు క్రియేటింగ్ ఏ ఫైర్వాల్ పాలసీ, firewall rule, creating a firewall rule. So now done. So the network is ready. Go to VPC networks. VPC networks, and here you can see your network is ready. And your network is having 2 subnets, 2 firewall rules. Okay, VPC firewall rules, 2 firewall rules. It is clear. Now let us go and create missions. So let us create an instance. Instance is nothing but a mission. So I am creating here Linux mission. One Linux mission I will create here. First one. So let it be Linux mission 1. In which region we want to create this mission? In which region we are having the VPC networks? In which region we are having the VPC network? Go to this VPC network. And go to subnets. And you can see we have subnet network in US Central 1 and US East 1. For C programming lab, I want to use Linux machines. For Java programming lab, I want to use Windows machines. So now I am creating a Linux mission 1. So C programming lab falls under US East 1. So US East 1. So pick US East 1. Zone can be any, or else you can be specific by specifying the zone. No worries. So we are not going to change anything here, and then we are directly going to change the boot disk. Change the boot disk. So we want to create a Ubuntu machine here. Ubuntu. Select. Then another important thing here is networking. Click on network. Networking. So here we want to specify what network you want to use. We want to use ProgLabNet, our own net. So here you can see C programming lab is already selected. Reason is, for this network, in this region US East 1, we are having cprog as subnet. So that is why it is automatically selected. Okay, we have selected the ProgLab net, and then the cprog is automatically selected. Okay, so let us say create. So one mission is created in this particular region. Similarly, create another instance. Let it be Linux machine 2. In which region? US East 1. Any zone, it will work. So we are not going to change anything here. Let us say change the boot disk to Ubuntu. Let us change the boot disk to Ubuntu, and then select, So no changes here, but network we want to change. Network here, when you come down, network interface, we will be changing this to ProgLab, and you will get a C programming here. So because it is in this region, so create. So two machines are being created. Now you can see the internal IP addresses will be side by side. When you look at the internal IP addresses, it will be in this range. Internal IP addresses will be in this range. Had you observed the internal IP addresses? So we gave this internal IP address from this 192.168.0.0. This is incremented. So one is already reserved for the gateway. So that is why here you can see 2 and 3. As you go on creating machines, so you will be getting 256 number of machines. And even it can be increased. So that is a IP addressing part. ఇక్కడ ఇది ఒక బైట్ కదండి, ఒక బైట్లో 255 వరకు మనం స్టోర్ చేయొచ్చు. సో 2 నుంచి 255 వరకు ఇట్ ఈస్ పాసిబుల్. సిమిలర్లీ ఇది కూడా 1 నుంచి మళ్ళీ దీన్ని పెంచుకుంటూ వెళ్ళచ్చు. సో లైక్ దట్ వీ కెన్ క్రియేట్ ఎన్ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ మిషన్స్. ఓకే, సో ఇక్కడ మనం 2 మిషన్స్ క్రియేట్ చేసాము. ఒకటి US East 1Bలో, ఇవి 2 కూడా మనం C ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ అనుకున్నాం. ఓకే, నౌ గో అహెడ్, క్రియేట్ ఏ విండోస్ మిషన్. Windows machine 1. In which region? US Central 1. Okay, so change the boot disk to Windows machine. Windows server, latest server, select. And networking options. Networking. This we want to change this to ProgLab, and you can see Java Lab. It is automatically selected. Okay, say create. Create one more machine. Windows machine 2, Windows machine 2, US Central 1A. Then come down, change the boot disk. Change the boot disk to Windows Server. Keep it like this and select. Then go to the network options. Networking options. If you come down, you can see this here. Default ProgLab. It is automatically selected. We are not changing anything here. Creating disk. So now you can see this machine is having the IP addresses like 10.0.0. So this machine is picking the IP addresses from here. 10.0.0. So 10.0.01 is already used. So the next machine that is created is having 2. Next machine probably will be having 3. Okay. So this is what you can see with respect to the machines. So you can log on to these machines. You can log on to these machines and you can. So now you know how to create a password for this machine, and you can go use RDP connection for these machines. Okay. Another interesting thing here is I am leaving it as an exercise for you. So we have created VPC network connection and then subnets and adding VMs to the VPC. So I told you like the basics of networks. This part has been completed. So now let us see. Interestingly, what I am leaving with you is So for Windows machine. So now for tomorrow's class, what you need to do is create a VPC. Create a VPC with 2 subnets and firewall rules. You know how to do this. After creating this, connect to one Windows machine. So connect to Windows machine 1. I can say connect to Windows machine 1. Connect to Windows machine 1. Okay. Then now from WM1 means Windows machine 1, connect to Windows machine 2. Connect to Windows machine 2 using internal IP address. Okay. This is your task. So you need to complete this task by tomorrow's class. Any doubts? Any doubts? Teja, can you do that? Try it. No worries. Try it. Okay. All good? So keep practicing. If you don't practice, you will forget. Okay. Thank you all. Bye.